themselves. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 8a. Let's consider each of these points briefly with regard to the relationship between husbands and wives. At all times, in all things, we should be careful to heed Jesus' words. Do to others as you would have them do to you. Luke 6, verse 31. Love is patient. Always remember that no one is perfect. We all have our own flaws and faults, our own particular idiosyncrasies and annoying habits or mannerisms. Everyone enters marriage with a certain amount of emotional, psychological, and spiritual baggage. Adjusting to each other's uniqueness takes time and patience. The King James Version often uses the word long-suffering for patience, which really captures the idea of what we're talking about here. Patient love makes allowances for individuals' differences and seeks to understand before speaking or judging. In our marriage relationships, we all need healthy allowances of grace, not only that which we extend toward our spouses, but also that which they extend to us. Patient love is full of grace. Rather than finding fault, it seeks to help the other person reach his or her full potential and personhood in Christ. Patient love is full of grace. Love is kind. The Greek word for kind in verse 4 literally means to show oneself useful or to act benevolently. Kind love is always seeking after the best interests of the other person, actively looking for ways to help, comfort, encourage, and strengthen and lift up. This is where remembering the little things come into play. A compliment, a card, a bouquet of roses. There is more involved here than just thoughtfulness. However, kindness is active, deliberate engagement in pursuing the welfare of another. It is gentle and tender, yet firm and tough when necessary, refusing to stand idly by and allow loved ones to engage in self-destructive behavior. Sometimes the greatest act of kindness is to forcibly intervene to prevent someone we love from heading down the path to ruin. Kind love is also tough love. Kindness is active, deliberate engagement in pursuing the welfare of another. Love does not envy. Agape is a love that rests secure in itself and its relationships. When we live under agape, we will be comfortable with who we are and with our status and relationships with others. We will not feel threatened by their success or envious over their happiness. On the contrary, we will actively and sincerely rejoice with them over these things. To envy means to be zealous, eager, or anxious, either for or against someone. And it is closely akin to jealousy. Secure and confident as it is, agape pulls the fangs out of envy and jealousy, leaving them powerless. Non-envying love means that when a wife receives a nice promotion at work, her husband won't feel threatened by or in competition with her success, but honestly rejoice with her. It means that when a husband is honored by his colleagues, his wife will sincerely take pride in his recognition and not fear that any attention is being taken away from her. Love that does not envy is love that has learned to be content whatever the circumstances. Agape is a love that rests secure in itself and its relationships. Love does not boast. Literally, to boast means to play the braggart. A braggart is someone who is always sounding his own praises or tooting his own horn. He wants to make sure everyone knows about his gifts and accomplishments. In reality, braggarts usually accomplish little of use to anyone else because they spend all their time boasting. Love, on the other hand, is always too busy doing good to spend time talking about it. Those who live under agape have no need or drive to boast because they find their fulfillment and purpose not in the praise and recognition of men, but in the opportunity to serve the needs of others in the name of Christ. If we feel a need to boast about or broadcast our love, that is a sure sign that no love is present. Agape neither needs nor seeks fanfare. True love reveals itself by its action, and when it is present, everyone knows it. Love is always too busy doing good to spend time talking about it. Love is not proud. Pride is the great sin of mankind, the sin of Adam and Eve that brought their downfall in Eden. The Greek word literally refers to a pair of bellows pumped up with air. A proud person is arrogant with an inflated ego that is puffed up in vain self-confidence, smugly reliant on his own powers, talents, and knowledge. Love is the exact opposite: humble, gentle, never forceful. Families who live under agape treat each other always with dignity, honor, and respect because they know that they are equally dependent upon God for all things and equally indebted to Him for their forgiveness and righteous standing with Him through Christ. Pride always focuses on self. Agape never does, focusing instead on God and on other people. Agape destroys pride because where love fills all, there is no room for pride. Agape destroys pride because where love fills all, there is no room for pride. Love is not rude. In many segments of modern society, rudeness seems commonplace, even expected. Nonetheless, polite behavior has never gone out of style. Good manners are always appropriate. Rudeness means to act unbecomingly, improperly, or indecently, and in a manner deserving of reproach. Love seeks always to act properly and becomingly in every circumstance and relationship of life. This means showing due honor and respect for the place and opinions of others, whether higher or lower in rank. All persons, regardless of statues, are worthy of respect and decency. People living under agape are careful to maintain proper respect and behavior in all the relationships of life. Husband, wife, parent, child, brother, sister, son, or daughter. Love that is not rude also acts to prevent anything that would violate decency. Good manners are always appropriate. Love is not self-seeking. This is another way of defining a role-less love. Love without conditions or expectations. Agape has no ulterior motive or selfish motives. It is unconditional. Conditional love sets limits. Agape sets none. This kind of love seeks the welfare of others even at the cost of self-denial and personal sacrifice. Living under agape means that we are not concerned primarily with seeking our own happiness, but the happiness of others, and that we will not pursue our happiness at the expense of others. People who live under agape live for the purpose